What's up, everybody? It's the Wiz, and today our word of wisdom is freedom. Today, I want to talk about freedom, not only because it's July 4th and everybody's out celebrating, popping out fireworks, eating nice burgers and hot dogs, but I want to talk about freedom because a lot of people are searching for freedom. Now, as a country, this July 4th is when we celebrate our Independence Day, United States of America, when the country became free. And every country around the world, well, a large majority of them, celebrate an Independence Day, a Freedom Day, a day when they became free. It's called for celebration because it's a big thing to become free. Because before, you were in bondage. Before, you were in captivity. Before, you were not in control of your own destiny. And now, when you're free, when you're independent, you're in control of your own destiny. And that's attractive to a lot of countries. And that's attractive to a lot of us. Wouldn't we all like to be free? Now, I know you might be saying, Wiz, I'm already free. I'm in a free country. I live in X country or Y country, and it's free. I can walk outside. I can do what I want. I have nobody that I have to really answer to for survival. And the more you think about the things you're saying, you have to ask yourself, are we really free? Are we really, really free? And I don't just mean the political way. I don't want to touch on political topics right now. I mean, spiritually, are we free? Are you free spiritually? Are you free spiritually? What does that mean? What is keeping your mind, your spirit, your body, your soul? What's keeping you from being where you want to be? What's keeping you? What's holding you back? What has chained you up that you feel like you can't act, you can't move, you can't speak? Do you ever just feel like you're held up tight and you can't do or be the person that you want to be? That means you're not free spiritually. A lot of us, myself included, have went through this where we've been in spiritual bondage because the war we're fighting today is not just a war of flesh and blood. It's a spiritual war. Primarily, we're fighting a spiritual battle against spiritual wickedness and things in the high places, evil places. So, if we're not free spiritually, or if we're at a point in our lives where we weren't free spiritually, how do we gain that freedom? Like other countries, they fought for it. They protested, they rebelled, civil war, uprisings, lots of things. Blood, sweat, and tears were shed for freedom in a lot of these countries, including this country that we're in right now. But for spiritual, how do you fight? You can't fight a spiritual battle with flesh and blood and war and civil. And so how do you fight it? How do you win freedom? Well, the answer is we already know that the fight's over. Right now, as we speak, the fight for spiritual freedom is already over. The spiritual independence is already been won. You just have to claim it. You have to choose to accept the spiritual freedom. You've already been set free. Someone's already fought for you, bled for you, died for you to have this spiritual freedom that so many want. So we don't have to fight for it anymore. All we have to do is go out and claim it. Now, who fought for this freedom that we want so much? Who fought for this spiritual freedom? Jesus. I mean, everybody knew where I was going with this, right? Jesus fought for our spiritual freedom when he died on the cross. And when he died on the cross, that was it. It was finished. It was done. It was over. The battle was already won. I want to share with you guys a verse, one of my favorite verses, possibly my favorite verse. It's Galatians 5 verse 1. And it says, "It is for freedom that Christ has set us free. Stand firm then, and do not let yourselves be burdened again by a yoke of slavery." Let's break this down. It is for freedom that Christ has set us free. So like I said, we already have the freedom. We don't have to fight for it. There's no civil war. There's no independence. For spiritual freedom, we already have it because it's already been fought for and won. However, with that freedom, we have to accept. We have to live in it. We have to accept it into our lives. So it says, it's for freedom that Christ has set us free. Christ didn't set us free for us to still believe we're in bondage and in mental slavery, spiritual slavery. Otherwise, what's the point? He set us free so we can actually step out into our freedom, live in our freedom, live in our calling and our purpose in our life that he's given us with joy and abundance. It's like me, take this as an example. It's like me opening all the gates of the prisons and the prisons and of the prisoners. All the gates. I have the key. I open up every single gate and say, everybody's free. You guys can leave right now. Your charges are dropped. You're good. You're free to go. Now, to you, that sounds okay. Yeah, duh. I'm going to leave. My charges are dropped. I'm free. I can walk out. No one's going to stop me. You know. But when you're in spiritual slavery, mental slavery, what you'll see what will happen is some of those people will choose to stay. Why? Because in their mind, they're a prisoner. In their heart, in their mind, they've accepted that they're a prisoner, that they are not free. And so even when you set them free, tell them to go, some of them will still stay. It sounds crazy because you're like, why would they stay? Why wouldn't you just, well, if we tie it back to our lives in spiritual slavery, Jesus has set us free from a lot of stuff already. So why are we still in captivity to so many things? You got to think about it like that. Jesus set us free from so many things, and yet we're still in captivity to so much. Why? It's because we haven't fully accepted and lived and experienced the freedom that he's called us into. It is for freedom that he set us free. Stand firm then. That means stand strong. Be strong. Be resolute. Be firm. And do not be burdened again by a yoke of slavery. Let's break that last part down. Do not be burdened again. We were burdened in the past by slavery, spiritual slavery. We were in spiritual slavery to sin. We were at the whims of sin. Sin dominated us. But then Jesus came, died for our freedom, died for our sin. And now we're no longer burdened. If and only if we choose to accept this freedom. So when we accept the freedom from Jesus, we're no longer burdened by slavery, the slavery of sin. It no longer traps us. It no longer keeps us down. Now, that's not to say we'll never ever sin ever again. But all it means is sin will not dominate your life. Sin will not keep you in the cell, the jail cell that Christ already opened the door to. And so today, I love this verse. I love this verse a lot. It's an amazing verse. I was excited to share it with y'all. So today is about freedom. The word of wisdom today is freedom. Free. Are you free? I said at the beginning, everybody was like, yeah, I'm free. I bet a lot of you thought, yeah, you're free. I'm free. But now, are you free? It is for freedom that Christ died for you and me. We got to stand firm. We got to stand strong and accept that freedom and live in that freedom every day. Don't live like you're still in this bondage of spiritual and all these other things when Christ already died for you over that. Why would you, to live like that says to him what you did wasn't enough. And to Christ, that's disrespectful. To say that the sacrifice he made for us wasn't enough, so we're still in this mental slavery, spiritual slavery. We're still, come on, can't do that. Today, choose freedom. The freedom's already there. Whatever you're going through today, whatever battle you're fighting for, fighting through, whatever addiction, whatever, vice, sin that you're struggling with, Christ already died for it. He already died for it. Promise you, no matter what it is, he died for it already to give you freedom. So know that he died for you personally, and what you're going through, he set you free from it already. All you have to do is accept that freedom. Trust in him to know that he already covered that sin. He already covered what you're going through. And if you accept that and live in him, you'll live in full freedom. And you won't be burdened. You won't be held back by what you've been through. You won't be held back by your past. You won't be held back and burdened again by a yoke of slavery. A yoke is like a chain. I didn't mean to choke myself on TV or whatever, but just trying to give you an example. A yoke is a chain around your arms, your legs, your neck to keep you in captivity. Jesus broke that already. Ben did it. So you don't have to worry anymore. Live in freedom. Live in freedom. Live in freedom. Because Christ set you free. All right, y'all. Happy 4th. Unless I post this on the 5th or the 6th. But I hope you had a great 4th. And I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.